Hey guys, Jaden and Nick here from Ice Hockey Aussies, here to bring you another blockbuster trade on this trade deadline. In regards to Jonathan Quick going to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Jonas Korpisalo and Gavrikov to the LA Kings. Included going to Columbus Blue Jackets was a 2023 first round pick. That's LA's. It is conditional, and the condition is if the Kings do not qualify for the playoffs this year, Columbus will instead get the 2023 second from LA and the 2024 second. And then they also get, on top of that, a 2024 third round pick. So LA Kings send off their, franchise legend, the reason why they won two cups to Columbus, who are not in the playoff race, and they get an upgrade in goaltending in Korpisalo, who's having a great year, granted, and then Gavrikov. But what are your thoughts on the trade there, Nick?
Yeah, look, I'm not a fan of this at all. I kind of understand it from a business perspective, but at the same time, I feel like there is so much that could go wrong with this move. Um, and you know, what they give up in the 2023 first round pick and a third round pick, in 2024, what they're getting in return isn't massive. I mean, I know you said Korpisalo's had a good year this year, and credit to him, his save percentage is reasonable. His goals against is quite high, but given that he plays for Columbus, it's kind of expected. Um, the issue I have with this is Korpisalo's previous seasons. They don't show much. And I know Columbus haven't been good for some time now, but I don't have a huge amount of faith in Korpisalo, and with one of the biggest issues I've had with LA Kings has been their defense. So it's not like he's going to a team that has an absolute solid defense in front of him, which I feel like could be an issue. Um, but ultimately, yeah, the trading away your franchise legend, the whole reason you won the two cups back in the day, that's just a massive call. Now, I don't know if they sat him down and had a conversation with him prior to making this trade. Um, but the fact that he's been traded to a non-playoff team is sort of disrespectful as well in a way. I get that his performance and his numbers don't speak playoffs, but this is a guy who's literally won a franchise two Stanley Cups, like off his own back. He was phenomenal, and he's been a phenomenal goaltender for the LA Kings for many, many years now. Uh, if they didn't sit him down and some vision is looking like that is the case, it's just disgusting in my opinion to treat such a legend like that. Um, yeah, and it could bite them in the ass. I mean, there's been rumors that the Vegas Golden Knights are looking to acquire Jonathan Quick from the Columbus Blue Jackets. So what a twist in the story that could be if Jonathan Quick goes to Vegas, gets the fire in his belly from everything that's happened, and just turns it on for one last playoffs and gets Vegas to the second round. Kings get through to the second round. They face off in the second round, and Jonathan Quick just shuts the LA Kings down, kicks him out of the playoffs. Um, it would just be one hell of a slap in the face to the Kings. Like, look what you did. You brought this on yourself. And to me, the return, it's just it's just not enough, for what the whole situation is. I just feel like it's a potential locker room morale killer, and for what they brought in to make this move, yeah, it could hurt them more than it's going to help them.
Yeah, on paper, I like the trade. Um, I think Jonathan Quick's days are numbered. I don't think he's gonna be anything. You know, extravagant again, especially when it comes to playoff and cup runs. So look, on paper, I understand it. They get an upgrade in goaltending. They also get some depth defending, which is good. But like you said, it's the morale killer on the in the locker room, and some teams they make trades purely for veterancy and locker room chemistry, and it looks like LA's done the complete opposite in that regards. They've traded out a legend, made your friends with people like Kopitar and other people on that LA team. When you score 4 goals and you're feeling pretty down because your friend's been traded away, that's not good. And this could destabilize the LA team in regards to that, because locker room chemistry and happiness, morale is a huge thing. And I feel like this could, or I feel like it has shattered it in a sense. I feel like it shatters anybody's ambitions of being like a legend for this team as well when you get treated in this way, and it puts more perspective on putting on no trade clauses or no move clauses when you're signing in contracts if you are somewhat of a decent player. And they get Columbus, they get some picks. They could get some more things if they do end up moving quick to Vegas, depending on what that takes. But for LA, these are also rentals. Like, they don't have term on their contracts as well, and that's the big question. Is you get rid of a 1 year to bring in 2 1 years. They are upgrades. You upgrade your goalie, any defense, but they're not termed. So it's like they're saying, "Oh, we're going all out for this season." I don't think this is a season to go all out. I understand in the West there's not much competition. You pretty much got the Avalanche, and that's it. So you pretty much almost guaranteed to get to the conference final if you do upgrades. But I don't think you're going to win a cup because of just how the East is. But they could be battered and bruised, I guess. But this isn't the time to go all out, and I think this is going to backfire long term and even short term.
Yeah, yeah. I just look. The return isn't. Yeah, like it's not enough to make this call. And like you said, like this is an all-out sort of decision, isn't it? Like it's a we've traded in two players. Ultimately, nothing really special about either of them. They've given up a legend of their franchise, a first round pick and a third round pick. So, like, to me, I agree with you. I don't think that they're in a position to compete for the cup. This is they only sort of made it last year because, well, the Pacific was that weak that, 3 teams had to make it. And this year, yep, they've been good to their credit. They're still playing in a weak Pacific division, but they've been a lot better, and they thoroughly deserve their playoff spot. I just don't think they're quite there yet. And to go all in like they have by sort of because and don't get me wrong, no, these players aren't an all-in move. Like they're nothing special. But when you trade out a player like Jonathan Quick, especially with the controversy around it, this is kind of an all-in move, right? What they've handed off and what they've received is, we are taking a massive risk here to hopefully win a cup. And I honestly don't think that return of Korpisalo and Gavrikov are going to help them win a cup this year. And I truly believe that losing Jonathan Quick is going to be a massive morale killer in their locker room. And if he does go to Vegas, yeah, it's gonna open up a whole can of worms. But look, at the end of the day, we could find out that, LA Kings management sat him down, spoke with him, he was fully okay with this, and then it's all good. It's all well and good. Okay, cool. He gave his blessings for it. That's fine. I still don't think what they gave up is worth what they got in return. So either way, it's either they gave up too much for what they got, or they completely screwed over a club legend.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't like this trade, to be honest with you.
Well, from how it was breaking, it sounded like he was very displeased. Is probably the best way to put it. Um, which seems to me that he wasn't informed that this was all was going to happen. Um, and that's pretty dog to happen. You're going from a playoff, team, possibly, Stanley Cup contender, just because of how the West is, and then you go to the worst team in the league, basically. Uh, uh, in your last year, probably going to retire after this is disgusting, honestly, and it happening to any player that hurts, let alone to a franchise legend. So I hope for his sake he does get moved on. I know Columbus said they did the trade not for Quick, but it was for the picks, um, and moving those contracts and Korpisalo and Gavrikov. So I know they didn't do it just for Jonathan Quick, and I believe they already had plans to move him on, most likely once they attained him. And if Vegas are on him, then good for them. So maybe Columbus aren't done here, and they do get some more picks, and they look even better. They would have to retain some of that salary, obviously, but they're probably going to get a nice, good haul out of this. Should fast track their rebuild quite substantially, and this kind of trade, it is all in for this year. They could re-sign these players, of course, but UFA type statuses and whatnot, you're never 100% certain. And yeah, no, I think it's a franchise poor franchise decision. It's kind of a franchise killer. You never like to see players get treated badly, let alone legends of the game, probably Hall of Famer. And it's that it's what Vancouver's done this year has been bad publicity wise in regards to how they've dealt with things in their franchise and how they dealt with coaches. And now LA's kind of going down the same route, but dealing with their players. So yeah, I just think these teams need to, or general managers need to have more respect on these players. I understand you want to win the cup, but I don't feel like they were going to win this cup even with this type of trade done. So they needed to get more out of this trade if they were going to really go for it.
Oh, 100%. Like this is a trade that their fans aren't gonna like, the players aren't gonna like. It has the ability to cause so many issues, and they've traded him to a bottom of the barrel team who's now planning on trying to move him on to an actual cup contender. So it's like you gave up so much to get two players that, in my opinion, are so-so, and now the team that you traded your franchise legend to is potentially going to on-trade him to a division rival
Yeah, you're
for
not wrong.
more. So, like, yeah, it baffles me where the Kings' heads were at here. Like, if Columbus if they do get this done and Vegas do have some interest in it, why didn't the Kings and Vegas have a conversation in the first place? Like, did did the Kings not shop around, or did they just take the first option?
Mm,
Because yeah, to me this whole thing is an absolute fast, and it's not a good look for the Kings management at all, because whichever way it goes, whether or not he was informed or not informed, it's just not a great move by the Kings, and overall, I think it's poor management. Yeah, yeah. Be better, Kings. Be better.
yeah, well, what is it? So Rob Blake made the move. If they win the cup, everyone's going to forget about this and how they treated him. So you've got that if you do win it, or go really deep, I guess, to the conference final. But if you don't do that, this looks really bad. And he's been the general manager for what 5 years, going on 6 now. So do they move on from him if this does go south? Which is a really good question. But I guess I'll leave it at there if you want to add anything else.
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if if players really are sort of annoyed at this, if they weren't sort of calling for his head, to be honest. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Let us know your thoughts, guys. You can obviously tell the two of us aren't overly pleased with the trade. We're not even Kings fans, so I think it's not just Kings fans that'll be angry at this sort of treatment of a franchise legend. It's probably most fans in the NHL. But yeah, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, give us a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, guys, take care.
Have a good one.